You're tuned into Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Hafner's, it kicks. And by Boston North Company, restaurant and retail solutions for your business. That's Boston North. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Buongiorno. I'm Jim Campanini, co-host of the Grapefully Yours Wine podcast with my co-host here, Mike Pigeon, the wine butler. We're coming to you from the beautiful air-conditioned studios, InsideLowell.com in downtown Lowell. Teddy Panos is producing our show, as he always does. And we're back. We're glad to be back. It's been a three-week summer vacation for us, a very busy time. As you can see my hat, toga, I've not been at Animal House. I was up at Saratoga. It's short for Saratoga. I went up there to play the ponies, drink some wine, had some fabulous meals. I didn't have the luck that I normally have.
The luck was that you were able to go up there and enjoy yourself.
But there were some big winners. One horse paid $110 to win on a $2 bet. I did win. It happened the first time it ever happened to me. I bet on a horse that came in second, paid $56 to place, came second. I went off at 44-1. It was unbelievable, and that paid for the pizza that night, So what have you been doing the last couple of weeks?
Listening to you tell me about the great times you're having while I'm staying at home, but good for you. That sounded like an enjoy with your friends up there, not only you, but
my fraternity brothers. It's
great.
This is like the 14th, 15th year.
Yeah.
We go up there, and Tom Drury, who lives in Rhode Island, he came back from Ireland. He left his family in Ireland. This is how dedicated he is. He left his family in Ireland, and he flew back a day early so he could drive up to Saratoga. Mike Matone came up from Florida. He was leaving. He left Monday, Labor Day, for a month-long vacation in Italy with his wife.
Wonderful.
My brother John was there. Tom Shaunier from Warwick, Rhode Island.
Great friend of yours. Yeah.
Doc LaFazia, he's a regular physician. He came up from West Warwick, Rhode Island, and we had a great time telling the same old stories, exaggerating them, arguing about them. It was great. You're right. It was great that all in our 70s now, that we could get together, enjoy that. We sit under a beautiful tree in the shade in our little chairs, cooler there because they let you bring your cooler in Saratoga. And we just have a great time.
Yeah.
No one wins.
Yeah. Well,
Although my brother and Tom Short made some smart bets. They did all right for the first couple of days.
Smart or lucky? Hand in hand.
Both.
You got to have both. You got to have both.
Yeah. So it was good because when you do hit big, you got to put so much of that money aside for the meal that night. So most of us got away pretty good, we only had to contribute like $20 a meal. We went to some nice restaurants.
It's a good thing that they don't have the meal halfway through the day because you'd pay for the meal and then lose the money the rest of the day and be in debt.
Oh, yeah, I know. So that's why we do cash.
At the end of the day.
You have to do it. Yeah, you have to do it. But the crowds were nice after Travis. That's why we go up the week after Travis. Travis, there's 60,000 people there, dressed to the nines. Well, we go after that because it's more comfortable, less crowded. But then it picks up on Friday, Saturday, Labor Day weekend. They're coming in for Labor Day. The kids are back at school. The parents come in. They take them to the track, and everybody's dressed up again. So it's nice. I look forward to it every year. It's a rite of summer. It's a rite of summer.
Yeah, that outside of the wineries up in the Finger Lakes, that's probably the biggest thing going on up there. Because Judy's brother, Tommy Counter, he went twice this year with his wife, just because he's not a big horseman, but he loves it's up nice up there, nice drive, and they a couple of
Took me
restaurants.
3 hours from Lowell to
Place
get
to
up
go,
there,
yeah.
right up the pike. I set a record. There was no traffic, and okay, I 65 all the way, and it was a nice trip. But we ate at some nice restaurants, drank some nice wine, and because of COVID, we weren't allowed the last 2 years to go to 𝗥𝐫𝐮𝐻𝐸 in Ballston Spa. Famous place, big Yankee hangout. They got photos going back to the 30s. Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, of course, a Red Sox fan. Let me go in there, and right away I start sweating, perspiring. But you got to keep your mouth shut in there. Everybody's got Yankee hats. You only open your mouth to order food, but they serve family style. Everything is family style. It comes out on platters. You order your veal parmesan, your chicken parmesan. It comes out in big platters. So for 8 guys, you get 2 platters or 3 platters. We added what they call the kitchen sink: shrimp, scallops, and shrimp, scallops,
Calamari
and clam. No, it was clams, and they do
Mussels.
it over the pappardelle, the thick, the wide pasta, but they do it in a pink sauce with cheese. It was like, it was divine. It was unbelievable. Then we had a plate of the meatballs. The meatballs were this big. Weren't up to the standards, but they did a meatball sausage, and the guys wanted rigatoni. So that was our feast with crusty bread, big house salad for the table. Then we had cannolis across the board for everybody at the end. What a meal! What a meal! You can only go there once in a week, But and then we drank the Montepulciano house wine. They have Montepulciano, is the house wine from d'Abruzzi. It was
And that's the house wine.
The house wine, yeah.
Good.
And it was a good price too. We're charging only $28 for the carafe. We had a couple of them, of course, But today we got some excellent wines to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're unfamiliar to me, so I'm going to learn a little bit here today, I think.
Yes. So these are both 2 Sicilian wines from the volcanic district, Mount Etna. Now, the 2 noble grapes from Sicily, the Mount Etna region, are Nerello Mascalese, red grape, and Nero d'Avola. So, and these vineyards grow on the sides of Mount Etna, and they pick up all that, those characteristics, a lot of mineral flavor in them, but they're deep, dark, penetrating wines. Nero d'Avola is a little lighter. I might equate it to a structured, well-structured Pinot Noir, maybe even a Nebbiolo. Nerello Mascalese, that's a little more power, but it's still smooth and elegant. They see a lot of aging and stuff. And the last show I think we had, I promoted that we were going to talk about, people talk a lot about the Super Tuscans and when they came out. That was why they get the name Super Tuscans, because it was the first time they introduced international grapes, Cabernet and Merlot, into the Italian indigenous grapes, Sangiovese. It was a sacrilege to mix, international grapes with the local grapes. But, some great people did it, and winemakers, they broke new ground, broke paths. That's how we get the Sassicaia, the Tignanello, all those other beautiful Super Tuscans from Tuscany, the Maremma coast, Antinori, and stuff like that. So I call this one, the Amaso, I call it a Super Sicilian because it has both the Nerello Mascalese, the Nero d'Avola in it, but they also have homegrown Merlot and Cabernet. This one is 100% Nerello Mascalese from a great winery, Planeta. They have a great history in Sicily. But look at the name. What is the name? Arruzioni,
Oh, Mike
1614.
Ruzioni.
Okay, and who was Mike Arruzioni?
The Olympic USA Olympic team.
And where was he from?
Massachusetts, somewhere.
Yeah, Everett. Was he from Everett, Massachusetts? Mike Arruzioni? He still shows up at the Bruins games. There's a lot of charity work.
Now, that's a grape I've never heard before, that name.
And so so it says here, the bottle is Arruzioni 1614. Okay, so the 1614 comes from, and that's when Mount Etna erupted, okay, and it stayed active for 10 years. So what it did was all that lava all collected down the sides, and the ash landed all over Sicily. And what it did, it actually cultivated the terroir, the soil and stuff, gave it that minerality. And most people thought, oh, gee, this is going to ruin the verdant territory, the few verdant, territory. It's very hot and arid in Sicily. But the sides of the mountain, okay, even though the soil turned black, it became very, very fertile, And then they said, hey, maybe we can grow vines there. And that's, they started growing vines, and the things thrived, and the tastes were fascinating, So we're going to try this, and I want you to tell me, look at the color.
Very light, very light.
Very light. What I tell you, I said, looks like a little Pinot Noir, a lot of ruby, ruby
even
highlights in there.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah, even lighter. Smell it. I'm not getting much. It's, there it is. It's cherry, a little cherry strawberry. Yeah.
Strong cherry strawberry, yes.
But there's almost like an earth.
It's a light tasting like its color. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's earthy. It's got that earthy, herbal, rustic. Rustic would probably be the word. So let's see. I'm gonna, the 5 S's.
That'd be the same foods as a Pinot Noir, because it's not a strong stand-up type of wine. It's very light for light foods that you drink with a red.
Well, I mean, you could have Pinot Noirs are known for lamb and even chops, pork chops. I mean, this is great. It's the acidity that makes the wine good for the food, as long as it's balanced. It's not over acidic. So.
So many different grapes, and each one just tastes a little different than other grapes.
Ends very dry.
Yeah. Well, I'm not puckering up.
Oh no,
are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. But it's got that nice taut cherry strawberry, and I gotta see. I gotta let this open up a little, because it's got a.
How big a
I like them when they're balanced. Let me see what this says. The alcohol level you said was 14%? Is that what it said on the bottle there? 13.7 alcohol content, which is pretty good.
Does this wine have a good following in this country? Because I've never heard of it.
Nerello, Sicilian wines are getting more and more popular. Nerello Mascalese, yes. I mean, it's not as popular as a Cabernet. But,
naturally. But I still wouldn't.
But for Italian, I think it's import to America is slowly rising as Sicilian wines get more popular. And the value, I mean, this wine you can buy it for I believe it's $24. Yeah, and it says here, a little about the history of the volcano was marked by the eruptions which have shaped it. That of 1614 is legendary. It lasted for 10 years, the longest ever recorded. The vines which produce this wine grow on this actual lava flow. Nerello Mascalese, grown on these black soils at a height for immensely aromatic red wine with an elegant structure. And I think it is.
You'd think the lava flow, though, would kill everything in its path. And how would it find its way up through that? But the vines, I mean.
Well, look at look at out in the West and stuff where they've had, California, when it's covered with water, they're finding, they have those mineral deposits and seashells they find in the vineyards and stuff when it was underwater. I mean, all those glacial, the glaciers came down, they left deposits all around and stuff, and it goes into the soil, works itself into the soil, and believe it or not, those vines with they pick up those nutrients as they struggle to get moisture and stuff, so there is in Sicily, being so close to the ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, the Ionian Sea, which, so you get all that, the wind that comes up from Africa blows the sea salt onto the land, into the vineyards, onto the vine. So, all right. It's definitely a wine for good pasta dishes. It says here, the character of this wine allows the most courageous pairings with dishes of similar distinction: game, truffles, rockfish. What is rockfish?
It's rockfish is a small fish.
Okay. Rockfish with complex sauces, cheeses, and salami. Yeah, like this. With the acidity, it's a beautiful wine. Okay, so clean out your glass. Now we're gonna try Amaso, which is the 2019, and this also comes from the 𝗔𝗺𝗀𝐾𝐫𝐮𝐻𝐵𝐵 Valley, which is right around the edges of Etna. And like I said, this is what I call super Sicilian. It has Nero d'Avola, Nerello Mascalese, which are the two indigenous grapes from Sicily, but then homegrown Cabernet and Merlot. Just like they add, to what you were saying, the super Tuscan wines. Those are the grapes that they use with Sangiovese, right?
And this has a 14% alcohol.
Now you can see the difference in color right away.
Darker, yeah.
Much darker,
ruby,
plummy, and you can still see you can just barely see your finger through the bottom of it. That's so dark it is right down the middle. But it definitely has darker color, richer.
Fuller, yeah. Probably not as dry.
Well, we'll find out. It's got a higher alcohol content, so
just 1% more.
Should be drier. Should be drier, but
ooh, that's strong nose, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, violet on the nose.
Yeah,
like it, very aromatic.
Heavy violet.
Yeah. All right, let's take a little sip here. Wow, very elegant. It's good. You can taste the licorice. Can you taste licorice there? Anise,
one more
chocolate.
I have a hard time pulling those different things.
This is a much more complex because of all the different layers that are in there. Yeah. I want to see just how the aging is on this. These grapes are hand-picked. These are the best of the vineyard grapes are hand-picked and placed in single layers of small cases of maximum 5 kilos each. Grapes are stored for 4 weeks in controlled temperature in a fruit chamber room. Grapes are gently handled to preserve their delicate balance. The wine rests for 8 to 10 months in medium toasted French casks. Yeah. After 4 months in the bottle, the wine starts showing its best expression. Wow. Best paired with savory meat dishes, baked pasta, and matured cheeses. Served between 56 and 66 degrees. It says serve up to one hour after opening. So they want you to. This is going to develop even more layers after an hour.
Yeah.
So I like it. I think it's very elegant, stylish. Now, this one goes for a little under. I think this is about $38, $36 a bottle.
Is it that high?
Yeah.
For this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
and I think it grows on it. It's got a nice mineral finish, dry. It's almost like that salinity you can taste that we were talking about. But the fruit is fresh. Prunes, I get prunes and plums.
Both these wines taste good. They're very attractive wines, but don't they all taste better with food?
Absolutely.
So
I was going to bring in a bolognese ragu for you.
Well, I mean,
and have you have it, eat it. But Teddy would have stole the whole thing from us, So
I'd eat it.
But you're exactly right. These foods,
with food, they're even better. So when you have a wine tasting, you got to recognize, how would I like to have a certain something in my mouth and follow it up with that wine. Yeah, they're good. I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, they both have a distinct characteristics, and they'd be good for food because they've got that harmonious balance. This is 100% now, Nerello, and these are different, different combinations of percentages of Nerello Mascalese, but that Cabernet and Merlot. I mean, I love Merlot. Merlot is one of my favorite grapes because it just gives taste and structure, and
softness.
Yes, softens it up.
Tannins can be hard sometimes and sharp.
Yes, right, exactly.
Merlot takes care of that. But you still get the wine.
These wines, I mean, especially this Amasso, is very elegant. And that bottle, feel that bottle?
You had me have that. To me, they don't need all that glass. No wonder glass is.
I know a lot of them are for the environment, are changing and stuff. But you're in Sicily, and it says, I don't know, maybe they use it for a hammer. I don't know. But it's a great feel. It's a very highly concentrated, well structured wine, well made, and Planeta makes a good wine. It's a great wine. But if you want to impress your friends with Ruzioni, if they remember Mike Ruzioni, you can get the 1614 right here. This would be a more elegant wine for great, I think, pasta, dinner, or even a steak. This would go great with grilled steaks and stuff, and mature cheeses. I mean, it is a nice wine. Final thoughts?
No, it's almost want to toast Mikey Ruzioni and all the other good boys for bringing back the gold in that Olympics. What an upset that was when they beat Russia.
Fantastic.
Ruzioni.
And, I wonder if Mike knows that this wine exists with his name on it. We'll have to send him a bottle. All right. Last thing before we leave. Predictions, because the Patriots open the season this Sunday, hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. What is your prediction for their wins? How many wins are they gonna have this week?
This year?
This year. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I say about 4. I have no confidence in the left side of that blind side of the quarterback of that offensive line. The injuries, I can't see Trent Brown, if he is in that spot, lasting the year.
Yeah.
Strong. They have problems on that blind side offensive line. And how are they going to beat you? Not certainly by passing, nothing against the quarterback, but the receivers, they're not going to beat you with a passing attack. They're not going to beat you with a strong running attack. Nobody really runs against fast linebackers.
Well, you should write for the Lowell newspaper.
I go by them. I think the Jets will beat them twice.
Really?
And if they're going to beat them twice, the other teams will. 4 wins. I can't see how they're going to beat you. How are they going to beat the other team? I just don't see it.
Okay, I'm going to make a non-intelligent prediction that they're going to have. They're going to finish with 10 wins, 7 losses. Just eke in because I believe in Bill Belichick. Okay, I am not about to abandon Emperor Belichick.
How about we make a bet? Your wine cellar against my 2005 Corolla. What do you say?
Okay, I won't go that far, but I think I'm gonna toast the Patriots.
Good luck. I love them.
Good luck this Sunday against Philadelphia.
They brought me happiness for like 15 years, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, until our next show, may the wine be with you. And good luck, Patriots. Please win that game.